Yeah.
We're looking at page A51, and on the front half, we are only doing the greatest common factor. That's all we're looking at. And so we have to show what's left. Let's jump down to a problem like number 7. Number 7 has 4 terms. Now, we were, when they had 4 terms, factoring by grouping, but the directions on the front are just factor the common factor out. So I'm looking at 27, 30, 9, and 6. So I'm looking at the 9 and the 6. What do they have? A 3? Okay. Can everything here divide by 3? Yes. Sure. Now, you have the option. When the front number is negative, I normally take out a negative number. You don't have to. So I'm going to take out a negative 3. What else can go with that 3? How many B's? Just 1. Yep, today it's a B. All right, so if it helps you, well, I looked at the 9 and 6, and I decided they both divide by 3, so everything divides by 3. And the reason I chose to take out the negative instead of just a 3 was because the front number was a negative. So I would take 2 versions of this answer. I'm going to divide everything by negative 3 and a B. So when I do this, I need to think about my sign and my number and then my variable. So this is going to be a positive 9. If I have 4 B's and I take 1 off, I have 3. Negative divided by negative is going to be a positive. If I divide by 3, I get positive 10. I have B to the third. I take 1 off. I get B what? Squared. Positive divided by negative is a negative 3. I take off 1 B. I'm left with 1. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and my B's cancel. So this is one version of the answer, and I'm fine with that. If you only took out a 3B, all of your signs would be the opposite. So we will accept either answer. I don't need 2 answers, but do you see that if I would distribute the negative sign, all of these change to the opposite signs? Okay? All right, pick another one. You want to do 10 or 12? Oh, and sometimes, look at number 8. They don't have a number in common. See how I can't take something out of all of them? But I can't even take a B out. So we would call this one prime. Someone else might have said, why do you want to take out the negative 1? You could do that. All right, which one, 10 or 12? 12? Okay. So what numbers am I focusing on number 12? That 27. 27 doesn't divide into 45. What else goes into 27? 9 goes into 27. Does that work for everything? Okay. If 9 didn't work, then we would try 3. All right, so I'm going to take a 9 out. What else can we take out? Does everything have a B? All right. Can I take an A out of everything? All right, so just 9B. Again, if it helps you, show that under each piece. I think this is really helpful for some people. All right, 27 divided by 9 is 3. How many B's should I have left? B squared, and keep your A to the third. 45 divided by 9 is a positive 5. Take out a B, I'm left with 1 and an A to the third. 45 divided by 9 is 5, right? Take out the B's, and I'm done. This is a reverse of distribution. If I remultiply, I get back my 27, B the third, A the third, my 45, and my other 45. All right, so front will look like this. Don't get rid of the GCF. Don't just write the GCF. What did you take out? What's left? That's factoring. All right, if you flip it over, factor completely by grouping. Check for the GCF first. And I have a note that these 2 problems might need rearranged. Okay. So we'll definitely do 23 or 24, but give me another one you want to do. On the front? Yeah, number 8 was prime. Were there any other primes on the front? No. Okay. All right, on the back. What do you want to do? Let's do 21. Well, the first one, okay, let's start the first one. I'll let you finish it on your own. The first one, if we do this, there is no GCF. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
You're going to jump in and group, watch your minus sign, put your plus sign in there. So that minus sign becomes just a negative 7x. What comes out of the first set? Yeah, a lot of people say nothing. There's no number, but we can take out the variable x squared. What's left when I divide by x squared? And x minus 5. Okay, bring my plus sign down. Now, 7 and 35, what can I divide them by? 7. But here's the deal. If I divide by 7, I'm left with the negative x. If I divide by 7, I'm left with the negative x and a positive 5. So when I go to look at these two pieces, do they have the same exact thing in parentheses?
Get out, we're learning. Don't even.
So in order to make these the same, I had to pull out that negative. So I can leave this negative alone. I only divide out a negative if it's the first number. Because this is going to make it match, I'll pull out the negative, and I'm dividing by negative, so this now becomes a positive x. But if I'm dividing 35 by negative 7, this becomes a minus 5. So there we go. Now what they have in common is x minus 5. And when I pull out that GCF, what's left over? X squared minus 7. All right, let's jump down. Let's do 21. We'll do 21 and 23. Okay? All right, so 21. Before I jump in and group, so you can jump in and group and deal with it later, but I don't want to forget it. There is a GCF. What is it? What can I divide into 15 and 35? 5. So can I divide everything by 5? Yeah, everything divides by 5. All right, anything else that they have in common? Do they all have an A? Yeah, they all have an A. Do they all have a B? No. How about an X? No. All right, so that's my GCF. Again, if it helps you write it underneath that, this would be a 3AB. Divide this by 5, I get minus 7, 1AX. Divide by 5, is it 15? No. What is it? It is so. I get a positive 15. I took out the A, so just XB. Take negative 175, that should be 35. Yeah, I get negative 35. I took out just the A, so the x squared stays. All right, this is where I like to put those brackets because I think it helps differentiate. Because now that I've got these 4 terms, I'm going to come in with my parentheses. Plus sign in the middle. All right, here we go. I got my 5A. So this is like a 3-step problem. GCF, grouping, and then the last step to clean it up. These don't have a number, but they do have an A in common. So I'm left with 3B minus 7X. What can I divide these both by? 5X. What's left is 3B minus 7X. Divide by 5, knock out the X. Divide by 5, knock out the X. All right, so I still have my 5A. Don't lose that. What do these two have in common? A 3B minus 7X. Take that out. I'd have to remultiply it by A and the 5X. All right, if you want to keep the brackets on, you can, but I went ahead and dropped mine. All right, jump down to 23. So here's what I'm looking at. I can definitely divide both of these by 2, and I'm left with a B and an X. I could divide by 3. Can I divide by 6? Oh, I can divide these both by 6. Okay. I can divide these by 6. I can divide 120 by 6. Can I divide 72 by 6? Yep. All right, I'm taking out a 6. I was thinking this needed rearranged, but maybe not. All right. Can I take a variable out of everything? All right, so divide by 6. I get 15AB minus, what? Should be 16, right? Someone double check my math. Anybody agree with me? Well, what I think it is and what it might be are 2 different things. All right, so I divided everything by 6. And let's see if it works. So I had a note that this one might need to be rearranged, and I think that it does need rearranged. All right, so when I go to group this, and I'm going to do this in pencil because I think I might need to erase it. When I go to group this, what I want you to see here, it looks good so far, right? I would keep my 6, but this has no GCF number-wise or variable-wise, so I'm stuck with it. And this has a GCF of what? 2 or 4? But that's not going to give me a 15 and a 16. So I do need to rearrange this. I'm going to bring this up a little higher. So I'm going to leave that 6 out front. It looked good at first. And I'll leave the 15AB here, but it doesn't pair well with the minus 16. So give me one of these other two numbers to pair with the 15. What? All right, so I'm going to focus on this right now. 15AB, what would you like to pair with it? The minus 20A or the plus 12XB? All right, let's put the minus 20A with it then. All right, so that's done and that's done. And then we have the minus 16X and the plus 12XB. All right, so here's how I grouped it. Now, so we'll group these first two, group these next two, and I just sort of went with what you told me. So when I go to do this, I'm going to keep that 6. What comes out of these two? A 5A. What's left is 3B minus 4 plus, okay, now here's the deal. This is a front term is negative, so I was thinking about taking a negative number out. Let me do that. I'll take out a negative 4x. What's left is going to be a positive 4 minus 3. I divided that out, b. So are these the same things? No, they're out of order, but the problem is I have a 3b and this one's negative, and here I have a negative 4. So this is one of the times where I don't want to take out the negative sign because I want this to stay a negative and not a positive. So it's out of order, but you see they're the same thing. So keep my 6. What they have in common is 3b minus 4. Take that out, and what's left is 5a plus 4x. So it is absolutely amazing that some of you guys can do this without any work. That is fantastic.